each individual shelf is going to have its own LED strip, and they're all going to be connected. So this right side is going to be one set. It's going to take one box, and then the other side is going to take one box. These are Wi-Fi RGB LEDs. Now that's important because we want to have full control of them, not just a switch. We want to be able to control them with our phone. We want to be able to control them with Alexa. So that is the goal here. One last product that will make this whole setup complete are these LED strips with diffusers. Now it's an aluminum strip that is recessed where the LEDs will sit in, and here is the diffuser that slides in the top. So this will give us a nice diffused light. The number one comment on my last LED light where I used them was they would look a lot better if you put a diffuser strip in there. And I couldn't agree more. Honestly, I just didn't think of it, and I am implementing your comment on this video. So I need to cut these diffusers down to 28 inches. I already measured. These shelves are 30 inches wide. I want an inch on each side for the wire to be able to come in and these clips to be able to sit. This is all going to be covered up by face trim. So we're doing this in a specific order because it'll be the easiest. So the diffusers will go in, we'll run all the lights, and then face trim will be put on the front here. All right, so we were concerned about voltage drop wiring in a series. Now, around 16 feet is where I've read and understand you really start to see some voltage drop. And what voltage drop is, the first LEDs will be fully lit, and then as the current goes through, the top will be less bright and you'll be able to see it. The appropriate way to avoid that voltage drop is to wire in a parallel setup. And so what we've done is we've ran all these wires. We've used this Cat 6 wire. It's a really common internet wire, and it has more than enough wires in it, individual wires, to wire our 4-wire system. So here's where our power supply comes up through the countertop. All the power wires are hidden underneath. It comes up to our controller, and it comes out to this splitter. Each shelf has its individual wire. All these wires will be soldered together for one connection. Now what's really good about this is all of our voltage drop will be exactly the same. Rather than drawing on each other, it'll be a uniform look and you won't be able to see any difference by wiring it this way. So we've gone through a couple different options of wiring these things together. LED tape, the downfall of LED tape seems to be connections. So we have a total of 3 different kinds of connections to complete this whole setup. We have the tape-to-tape connections, which we used tape-to-tape connectors. So what I found with these connectors, I could get about half of them to work. The connections were kind of hard and kind of finicky to get lined up correctly, so we just decided to solder the remaining ones. So half of the tape-to-tape connections have these tape-to-tape connectors. For the other half, we made our own jumpers. For all the tape to wire connectors, we are soldering them just using standard solder. For all the wire to wire connections, we're using these little heat shrink plastics that have solder built into the middle of them. You just need to stick the 2 ends of the wires in and heat it up, and the solder will melt while the plastic shrinks. Just like everything else, I will link them down in the description.